This was sent to me by one of my followers on X, and they just simply asked me, Torian, have you heard about this? And then when I was reading the caption, I said, oh, really? Well, first I said I didn't hear about this, but then as I was reading the caption where this picture came from, I said, oh, now this is going to be very, very interesting. So the person that you see on your screen's name is Colin McNeil. And this guy has basically admitted that he was the runner or the owner of this website that was used to host extreme terrorism, or giving basically a haven to people who had terroristic ideas in mind, or those who wanted to carry out plots. And a couple of the names that are going to be mentioned we have heard of, because these are people who've actually committed domestic terrorism within like the last 5 years. Two of those names for certain are really going to stick out to you. A website host who allowed videos that encourage terrorism and mass shootings has been jailed. Far-right extremist Colin McNeil of Leeds ran a social network and video site which would glorify deletions, I'll put it like that, and share racist views, Sheffield Crown Court heard. One subscriber was an American teenager who went on to kill 10 people in a mass shooting motivated by race in Buffalo, New York. Now we know who that was. That was none other than Peyton Gendron. And based on how I'm reading this, and they're saying Sheffield Crown Court, that this person was running this site from overseas. This person, to my knowledge, is not in the States. So imagine the people who are here in the States getting ideas to do and carry out the things that they are doing is being ran by a person all the way in another country, on another continent. That's how far the range of white supremacy goes. We keep telling people that white supremacy is a global concept. It's not just a domestic thing. It's far from it. McNeil, who is 46, was handed an 11-year extended sentence after pleading guilty to 4 counts of distributing a terrorist publication with the intention of encouraging acts of terrorism. The material on McNeil's 2 websites was described by the recorder of Sheffield Judge Jeremy Richardson, KC, as racist, anti-Semitic, and violent in nature. It included videos showing an attack at a mosque in Christchurch, New Zealand, in which 51 people were killed. While most of the material was hateful, some of it related to terrorism. One of the counts related to a document that was uploaded written by a neo-Nazi cult which called for the terrorist killing of non-white people in order to accelerate a race war. Another video, which formed a 3rd count under the Terrorism Act, was a clip uploaded by Daniel Harris, who was found guilty of terrorism offenses in 2022. This video, which glorified the Christchurch killings, was linked to a race-incited shooting in the US. White supremacist Peyton Gendron, who we just brought up, said in a comment on the website that he agreed with another commenter who said they were now committed to my race. Gendron shot and killed 10 black people at a supermarket in New York State. The court heard how McNeil helped to run the site between 2019 and his arrest in March 2022. Officers from the Counterterrorism Policing Northeast said when McNeil became aware of the material on the websites, he continued to play an active role in its administration and share his own views. More than 56,000 people subscribed to the site, with 14.6 million combined views across all videos. The judge said McNeil was on the autistic spectrum, but he continued to pose a high risk of serious harm to the public. They just had to throw in there that this guy's on the spectrum. I don't know how anybody who's on the spectrum can actually go out and make a site like this and keep it going, but fine, whatever. You know how they have to do when it comes to them. They have to find a way to give them some kind of a cover. He accepted that he pleaded guilty to the charges before evidence was heard in the trial. McNeil of Beeston Road was handed a 7-year prison sentence with an extension of 4 years on license. See, that's too lenient. This guy literally was baiting people to do what they did. Granted, they were all in their own mindset to do what they did, but he gave them a boost. 7 years? He should get just as much time, if not more, than the people that committed these crimes. And the ones that did it got life, he should get it too, in my honest opinion. In your case, This was a dreadful example of dangerous white supremacist nonsense with terrorist material as the grotesque admixture, the judge said. So that's the whole story right there. That's the whole article right there. Again, this just shows you that white supremacy is a global concept. It's not domestic. This guy, again, is not in the States. He's not even from here, but his influence spread so far that it ended up here, and it caused people to do what they did, such as what Peyton Gendron did. Now, I thought it was another person that was going to be mentioned in here that I thought, but you know what? I think I got the pictures confused of Peyton Gendron with Ethan Crumbley because they kind of look alike, but it was just Peyton Gendron. But these are these type of sites that they keep saying that people go to get ideas, or that, like I said before, it's a haven for them so they can converse and congregate and do what it is that they do. I am not shocked by this in any measure. I think the only thing that might shock people is the fact that this is coming from a person that's not here in the States. But that, like, again, if you know how white supremacy is, that shouldn't surprise you either.